Momentum. Preparations are progressively gathering momentum ahead of the Senate elections announced for March in cleaning voter registers. And elsewhere in the Northwest region, the authorities in Bamenda 3 are placing their hopes on German technicians to address potable water supply concerns being aggravated by the ongoing influx of displaced persons. Those were our headlines. We'll develop the stories in a moment. Thanks once again for staying on with us. Now, the Cliquez, better known as Cameroon's Fertility Hospital, has welcomed its first babies for the year 2023. The 4 kids include a set of twins, all delivered via in vitro fertilization. Now, Beatrice Ngamo reports from Yaoundé that some of the mothers' husbands were victims of infertility.
The joy is the case with deliveries of babies at the Yaoundé Gynecological Endoscopic Surgery and Human Reproduction Teaching Hospital, Cliquez. And today, the Fertility Hospital welcomes our first babies, 4 in number, the year 2023. A set of twins and 2 single birds. Issues of in vitro fertilization. The first 2 mothers, aged 22 and 28, very young, with distal tubal pathology and ovarian disease respectively, could have conceived naturally after treatment.
There were no sperm and they had to make a donation. With that, we did a plasma injection of sperm and we got pregnancy, which runs very well.
The infertility was from their partners after it was noticed received adequate solution. And so this advice to the general public and especially couples who are still to conceive enjoy the happiness that goes with having their own bundle of joy.
Stress on our society that everybody can be concerned, the lady or the husband.
The third mother, at the age of 44, underwent in vitro fertilization due to the many pelvic inflammatory diseases. Gentle cries from the 4 newborn babies, Cliquez's New Year gift on this 18th day of January.
Stay on in Yaoundé, where Cameroon's elections management body, ELECAM, has set the ball rolling ahead of the Senate elections announced for March this year. Meeting at the first preparatory meeting in Yaoundé, of course, the board of the institution urged its members to uphold and Hyacinth Chia.
It is the first session, as of right, of the Electoral Board in view of the 12 March 2023 senatorial elections, as convened by the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, last January 13. A session described by ELECAM Board Chair, Eno Abrams Egbe, as a decisive stage of the upcoming elections, as he exhorted all board members and collaborators in the field to apply principles and values in a republican manner to accomplish their duties and boost the credibility of Elections Cameroon throughout the electoral process, underlining that all will be set before the D-Day.
I want to assure the people of Cameroon that Elections Cameroon is ready and very ready. The session of right which we are holding this morning is first of all to acknowledge the decree of the President of the Republic convening the Electoral College, and then we are going to put actually a necessary action plan to execute it.
And in accordance with Section 10, Sub 2 of the Electoral Code, ELECAM officials after this meeting will be deployed in the field to carry out relevant verifications and proximity checks, reviewing the available electoral logistics, monitoring and evaluating the social electoral climate in various constituencies, with emphasis on regions affected by insecurity, and assessing the level of preliminary preparations while boosting the morals of the personnel on the eve of the elections. And it is worth noting that political parties have up to January 28 to deposit the files of their candidates. That is, 15 days from when the Electoral College was announced, in conformity with the electoral laws.
And as preparations to the announced polls, ELECAM officials in the littoral region say they are getting ready. Their immediate tasks include updating voter registers by knocking off the names of dead people as well as those who have lost their voting rights. D. Maureen
The region is up to the task and just waiting for the electorate as political parties concerned to disclose and deposit lists of candidates within the next 15 days as stipulated by the law. Littoral regional delegates of Elections Cameroon was speaking to Canal team Wednesday, January 18. He seemed confident, but expressed an urgent need for his team to update the electoral register and allow only eligible candidates to take part. We are currently updating the electoral register, scraping off names of electorates who have died and those who have lost their voting rights. Besides this, the structure's head tells us election material are ready in different divisions. We don't have any problems linked to electoral material. For now, we have stocked election material in all the divisional branches. After defining the electorates for senatorial, a few polling stations have already been identified in the littoral and spread across all divisions that make up the region. ELECAM remains in collaboration with political parties, ensuring they act in strict respect of the laws. For now, no candidates nor political party has disclosed candidates, but the structure has already created specialized centers to receive files of candidates for senatorial elections built for March 2023.
Now, the ongoing displacement of populations across English-speaking Cameroon as a result of the non-stop conflict is mounting severe pressure on available resources. In Bamenda, potable water is getting increasingly scarce. And up next, Sherifa Saleh reports that a team of German technicians is at work to address the situation. Her report.
The exponential increase in population size owing to an influx of internally displaced persons from many parts of the Northwest region is already taking a toll on the potable water supply system of Bamenda 3 subdivision. To that effect, technical works are ongoing to increase the capacity of the water tanks from 60 to 70,000 liters per hour in collaboration with the Treff municipality in Germany.
Pressure boosting system for the town. It will be 4 pressure or 4 boosting pumps, and the last step will be to install a new reservoir down the town so that we can increase the supply area.
Bamenda 3 councillors have welcomed 2 German technicians whose works will turn things around because water is life.
So effectively, after their work, we'll be able to produce 70,000 liters every 1 hour. So it is good, and it will make water more available, and we will take advantage of it to extend it to other quarters that are still in need of our water.
We can do a pre-filtration. We can increase the amount of water when we can repair. So we saw it last time. The pre-filtration is not very fine.
Home-based technicians are keeping a keen eye for a north-south transfer of technology for maintenance after the 10-day stay of their visiting German counterparts.
Resilient economic growth and baseline modalities for effective implementation. Those are the main prescriptions for Cameroon by the International Monetary Fund. A visiting delegation from the Bretton Woods institution held a final working session this day in Yaoundé with the Minister of Finance, as we hear in the following report. Beatrice Ngamo.
The IMF delegation visit was to discuss the third review of Cameroon's economic and financial program under the Extended Credit Facility and Extended Credit Mechanism, consulting the different ministries concerned with the matter, with the goal of boosting resilient growth, providing the appropriate environment for it to flourish.
Cameroon has its own development plan. In its development plan, and inclusive, resilient growth is important. We discussed how the government can help create the conditions for growth in the country and how we can advance those reforms.
Measures aimed at increasing the country's fiscal space for financing productive investments, accelerating structural reforms to support economic diversification, proper management of public debt in order to strengthen its sustainability.
Since COVID-19, the economy was affected like many other economies. In 2022, growth continued at a healthy rate, and in 2023 also it's expected to continue its growth.
As Cameroon moved from 3.6% growth rate in 2021 to 3.8% in 2022, having projection of 4.2% this 2023. The note of Semil Sankak at the end of assessment mission to Cameroon this January 18, 2023.
Now, in recent years, and we stay on our economy page because in recent years, the Central African sub-region has been witnessing considerable turbulence in its aviation sector. According to experts, it is urgent to prioritize the revitalization of passenger and cargo activities as a means of facilitating investments in the sector. Douala has since this morning been hosting the first edition of the International Conference on Air Transport with attendees from all across the sub-region. One of them is Emile Bekolo of the organizing committee, and we have a chance right now to listen to an explanation.
In the Central Africa region, we have problems of our airlines are not working together. Everyone is in his corner and doing his own business, his own strategy. Okay, but I think that if we come back together, we can have better services, low cost and high income. So I think that this conference is just to make people talk together, sit and try to find out what are the problems and what are the solutions.
By the end of the current year, and I imply 2023, Cameroon is expected to witness an uptick in its fish production. That hope is contained in a report rendered public recently by the Bank of African States, BEAC. Gladys Sambo reports.
The economic forecast test published by the Bank of Central African States, BEAC, indicates that fisheries production in Cameroon is expected to increase in the first quarter of 2023, a prediction which actors in the sector think is based on improved activities, production and positive cash flows in recent times.
I think BEAC is relying on facts. It's not about facts. They used to see, to look at the reviews, to look at the in and out of the cash. So it's easy for them to forecast the fact that the production or the output of the production of the fishery production will be, let's say, more than the previous years.
I believe the bank was imbibed with more information from the nationwide tour the Minister of Livestock, Fisheries and Animal Industries made to some local fish farms at the end of 2022. The bank could have used part of that information to make its forecast, which to me is good. Although the bank did not make an estimate of the output, it based its forecast on the resumption of desirable species of fish in captivity that will improve reproduction, and with aquaculture, more fingerlings are expected to increase local production.
We can produce 15 million fingerlings at the moment, and we plan to produce 300 million per year. Then now we can produce 50 million per month.
Aquaculture is contributing, is about 10,000 tons per year right now.
The local producers plan to improve local production by 30,000 tons by 2025. Meantime, with local demand of about 500,000 tons annually, Cameroon still imports about 90% of fish.
Head off to the Noon Division in the West region of Cameroon, where the huckleberry seems to have found very fertile grounds, known to the ethnic Bamoons as the Njapche. It is widely grown and consumed in the area. Now, according to Ambo Gladys, cultivating the Njapche is worth much more than just the vitamins. Her report.
Call it African nightshade, garden huckleberry, or scientifically Solanum scrabrum. It is a vegetable mostly cultivated by the Bamounds in the Noun Division, West region of Cameroon. It is commonly called the Bamoun vegetable Onjapche to differentiate the vegetable from other varieties grown in Bamenda and Boya of the English-speaking regions of Cameroon. This farmer explains how Onjapche is grown. You must first of all have the seed varieties, which are nursed before being planted on white rows. Fertilizer can be added to make the soil richer, and then pesticide used to prevent pests from destroying the leaves. Weeding is also recommended to permit the leaves spread freely. The vegetable is highly solicited, and japche, the traditional delicacy of the Bamouns prepared from these leaves, is always on the menu during cultural festivals. There is no ceremony where this vegetable species is not consumed. That is why in all seasons we have orders not only locally but also from neighboring countries. The vegetable is different from others because it has larger leaves. The African black shade is very rich in iron. When prepared with melon or granules, it increases the virtues of the meal. Melon or egusi can prevent prostrate in men and improve their immune system, just like granules that are rich in lipids and glucose that gives energy. The cultivation of this vegetable in the Noun is a job niche for young people. Markets in several towns in Cameroon also depend on the Noun for this vegetable.
And it's on that note that we call it quits for this installment of the News in English on Canal International. Right after me, Janice Kamga with the debrief live from Yaoundé. Stay safe until we come around the same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.